So I wanted to talk really quick about this program, Anki. Anki is a flashcard app, and it utilizes this idea of spaced repetition. The way I think about spaced repetition, just to give a context for this, is let's say you learn something. Well, you could sit and you could study this and just look at this over and over and over again. And well, that's great. You're probably going to learn it. That's fine. But what if you look at it and you then forget it? You give yourself a day to just not remember it. And then you look at it again and you have this idea of cognitive lift. Like you have to lift with your brain to try to remember this thing. And then let's say you don't remember it. That's okay. You look at it again that day, or maybe the next day, and well, maybe that time you do remember it. And then you give yourself 2 days, right? And by then, maybe you've forgotten it. And then you look at it again, and the next day, the day after, and you remember it. And then maybe you wait 2 days, and then you remember it. This is an idea of deepening the paths to a memory, right? So the more times you're kind of tricking your brain into thinking, oh, this thing's important because it keeps coming back up, and I keep having to work to try to remember it. The less you have to work to try to remember something, well, the easier it is to remember, right? So your brain, we can think about it like your brain deepening the path to it. So let me show you Anki. First off, if you go to apps.ankiweb.net, you can download it here. You can get it for any platform, Windows, Linux, Mac. I'm on a Mac, and I am going to open Anki. And when this comes up, you're going to see that I have two profiles. When you get this, it actually comes with a single profile. I'm not going to update right now, but it comes with user one profile. I've got some stuff in there, and I want to show you a fresh profile just to give you a sense of this. So let me open that profile. Notice there are no cards in here. Well, there's this default deck of cards, and let's say I'm going to add a card. So why don't I just want to show you how easy this is. Let's look up Poisson PMF, Poisson distribution wiki. How about that? And if I click on this, so let me make the front of this card, what is the Poisson PMF? How about that? What is the Poisson PMF? And why don't I just snag this? And this is kind of a nice thing. You can screenshot and directly paste into here, right? So I have this little screenshot, and then I can tag it. I can tag this with discrete distributions. How about statistics? I don't know, probability, right? Whatever it is, and you can use this to filter your decks at a later time. Okay, so I've added a card, and if I go and study this card, I can just do that easily. I can click on default and study now. What is the Poisson PMF? Oh gosh, I don't know. Let me look at it. Okay, it's lambda to the k multiplied by e to the negative lambda over k factorial. Notice I get these options, again, good or easy, and I'm going to just click again. Okay, well, what is the Poisson PMF? Okay, well, that's lambda to the k multiplied by e to the negative lambda over k factorial. Let me see if I got that right. I did get it right, and I can click good. Now, it's showing it to me again because of the settings I have in here, but, let's say, again, lambda to the k multiplied by e to the negative lambda over k factorial. Let me show that. Okay, I think I got it. And when I click on this, it's going to suspend this card. It's going to put this card into my queue for tomorrow. So I'm not going to see it again today. I got it right 2 times. And it's like, okay, well, forget that. Come back to it tomorrow. And if you forget it, that's fine. We'll show it to you until you remember it. And this way we're, entraining you to think, well, this is probably important. And yeah, that's essentially the model of Anki. And of course, you can have a ton of cards in here, and you can set daily limits. You can say, well, I'm only going to study 10 new cards a day, and I'm going to, study those 10 cards, but then also review the cards that I studied in the past. And that's a pretty good path forward, right? You might populate this deck and with things that you know that you need to learn, that you want to learn, and keep coming back to it and back to it. And that can be a very powerful and efficient way to internalize a lot of information over time. Of course, there are different ways of learning, and this is, this has a lot to do with recall. It has a lot to do with committing certain things to memory, whether conceptual things, maybe the front of the card is a question, the back of the card is the answer to that question. Maybe you're trying to internalize a concept. Maybe you're literally trying to internalize language vocabulary. It could be any number of things. This isn't the only way to study, of course. I think applied study is arguably more powerful than this in a lot of ways, but what is really cool about this is with relatively little time and little cognitive lift, you can commit to memory a lot of information. So hope that's helpful. Let me know in the comments if you start using Anki and you enjoy it, if you find there are issues with it. Either way, it's a good conversation to have. I'm all about learning and methods of acquiring skills and information. So cool. Thanks so much.